Sister Rosaria! So here you are!
I've told you already, I don't go in for that kind of thing.
But this event has commemorative significance.
Hopes? That's odd, 'cause I don't recall a fulfill the hopes of others clause in my job description.
I mean, sure.
But what? You're the event organizer, aren't you? Do you...
What do you mean?
This far out from Mondstadt at this hour? Even if you set out right now, who knows? Maybe this is someone's grand plan to make a fool.
Huh? Well, that...
Evidence decides what people are like, not your feelings. Don't fret, nobody's gonna blame you if you go back empty-handed. I can't imagine anyone else was delusional enough to think I was gonna show up. But if you dally any longer, you really won't make it.
You're right. It's a very important commemorative event. If I'm late, then... right, I've gotta get going.
Seems like that sister's...
I thought I heard something. Who are you and why are...
We better watch out. She seems like a dangerous villain. Or a...
Oh, really? I'm a member of the long-standing Favonius Church. You're an eavesdropping pixie from who knows where. And you think I'm the trickster?
Wait, she heard that? Paimon...
And as for this outlander you seem to be following... The honorary knight that saved us from storm terror. Otherwise, depending on your answer, I could...
What? Do the Sisters of Mondstadt have the authority?
We can't go turning a blind eye to hidden dangers, can we? Why shouldn't sisters have a sense of justice?
That doesn't sound...
Let's talk about you. What are you doing in the mountains? If it's him you're after, I made a point of noting. Many people have made their way up after the snowstorm. Let's hope they're still there.
So, are you also looking for...
No, this is just a professional habit of mine. I sensed elemental traces in these tracks. I couldn't care what you think. Come on then. I'd like to see what he's up to anyway.
Rosaria said there were elemental traces in the trash. They should show up pretty clearly with elemental sight.
Want a taste of my hammer? I got careless. Should replace my hammer. Picked the wrong test subject.
You know, little pixie, your ability to appear and disappear at will is very interesting.
Yeah?
After committing a crime, you'd be able to leave the scene without a trace.
You're so suspicious. Why is Paimon a criminal in your example?
Let's get it on! Teamwork is strength!
Lament! Cheer! 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 Worthless! Cheer! Boring! Of death.
Let's light it up! Buckle up!
It's getting colder and colder. Rosaria, aren't you freezing?
Me? I'm all right. I got used to operating in adverse conditions a long time ago.
Huh? Seems like there's more to being a sister in the Favonius Church than Paimon realized.
There There is no escape!
Useless. Useless.
Is that Albedo? Why would he hang around a place like this?
The word on the street is he loves painting. He'll hang around anywhere for a good landscape. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Potential paintings everywhere you look.
But can't he see those hilly churls? Isn't he in danger? Uh-oh. Looks like we startled them. Enough talk. Let's take them out of the picture first.
Prepare to die, fool! The day has finally come.
That's gonna hurt in the morning! Why do they never miss? Off we go! I'm going in! Adventure! Shine down!
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my painting. Would have been a shame to leave these
What's up with painting hilly churls?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my painting, it may give you a clue.
Wow! Look at the detail! But some of it seems to have been done in a hurry.
You can find these hilly churls anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. Not worth closer inspection. But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and there's a distinct force at work here. In the cyclical lives of such primitive communities, such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work. Evolution, the transition from nothing into...
Hold your horses. Something tells me we're in for a thesis and I haven't got the stamina. We found your man. I'm headed back.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? Hey! What a weirdo.
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her. But back to the point. From her words, it seems that you were looking for me?
Mm-hmm. We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said you were...
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honorary knight. You've got the whole of Mondstadt talking. I've heard a bit of everything. Your actions during Storm Terror's attack, your elemental control, and quite a few other mysterious things. I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think... forgive me.
Whoa!
For example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
You can do that?
However, I have a particular seed in my possession. It's like you, in that it hails from another world, helping it to grow.
Well, if you're struggling to figure it out, Paimon's not sure we're gonna...
I beg to differ, but you're not from the known world. By
Shall we just get out of here? This sounds a little...
It's possible. But I will do everything in my control to time for a change of surroundings.
Albedo and that traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
Let's get it on!
Question.
I don't know, but I feel the importance will lie in the method, not the endpoint. Using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life into that would constitute a big leap in my understanding of after awaken. Still a little difficult to understand.
No, Paimon's got a brain. But what's the seed gonna be?
Well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit, dinner's on me.
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. Another lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the how you're able to freely manipulate elemental power. Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? Fascinating. And...
What a stupid question! Can't you see the gap between us? And another thing, it's Paimon!
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder... But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rocket.
Hey! How would you know any...
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the... Given that there's clearly a discrepancy. Firstly, this mysterious... Let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be...
Huh?
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good Naturally, if you require a greater challenge, we could bring in 6 Oceanids.
Slimes! Slimes are fine!
Well, prepare yourself.
You're dead meat! Illusion shattered! Everybody stand back!
Great work. If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observation, now that we know that the external flow is manifesting
Internal flow?
It's very simple. I can use if the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body. This potion
Sounds kinda...
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel...
And
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the necessary... Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved. Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any... Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. It's a type of ore known as star silver. I'll take you to my campsite. We all going to plan. We should be able to begin concocting the potion when we get to the campsite.
Paimon's still got a few safety concerns, but it seems like they're... Let's keep our eyes open.
Here. Should do for catalyst purposes. This one. Usable with a bit of polish.
Shine down! Buckle up!
What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way. This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected to the concoction. While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research.
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment. The report is already up on the board there.
Whoa! Look at all the data! You got all these results from one...
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses perhaps. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler and the slimes. Consider. You don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy. The slimes don't have visions either, yet they too are able to manipulate the elements. Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able to establish a basis in fact.
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. A cryoregis vine, or even a whopperflower might be a better analogy. But tracing back the phylogenetic relationships between plants and animals, in that sense, things might get difficult, don't you think?
Yes, sir. That sounds correct.
After all, we've got our primary data already. If it turned out that she did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world. Now that really would be something.
Ah, it would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more. I'll be conducting an...
Great, I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. In line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already.
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. And a very positive one at that. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience...
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig. But of course, you're my assistant. By all sense and reason, it would be wrong of me to place that risk onto you. In conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned, you're no different from...
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and everyone understands you. People are the same. They can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same, but a peculiar person. They don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. The essence of their life is fundamentally different. For example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregisvine or an eye of the storm. Have I explained it clearly enough? To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use your elemental power without fear. Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out. If you could see to collating them.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Oh, you gave me a lot to consider. Really stretched my limits. I'm thinking a lot clearer now. Oh, having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me, but starting with the premise of an elemental life form, now that was...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter, I'd like your...
You can count on me, sir. I'll extract a result satisfactory to all.
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's, what?
Before, if you're interested, why not?
Here comes Albedo! Let's go see him!
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting? Agreed. I'd love to find a moment to put, well, on with the research. There may be significant differences, but take Tevat, for example. Here, those with visions can manipulate, but worlds may well exist where only one person is able to do so. Or even everyone. So, leaving elements to one side, I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. No. Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it.
You think Paimon knows how to do that stuff?
That was your best effort? Have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help. I suppose I have a curiosity anyway. Why don't you cook us up a sunshine sprat?
Cooking? Paimon was looking forward to more mad science.
Not only is this recipe a staple for me, it's also worth experimenting with and
Paimon bets you're just... It does sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon approves. Good buddies are always on the same page.
I'll leave you to it then. If there's anything left over, maybe Timaeus can finish the last morsels.
Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem. How are we gonna channel elemental power into the food? Where does he get these ideas? Let's just do it the old-fashioned way.
That was fat. An average outcome experimentally, but you've really brought out the flavor. As far as the proliferation hypothesis is concerned, we've come up short. Seems like food presents the same headaches in your world as it does ours. Unless... could it be that the natural laws of this world are limiting your unique ability?
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food. It's...
Not to worry. At least we put some food to good use. No need to feel disheartened. And here's your portion. Enjoy.
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole experiment. Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone wrong. But anyway.
Hey! You were being nice a second ago! But you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too, right?
Yes. I'm fortunate too, I suppose. Anyway, there are all manner of alchemical items. I managed to retrieve them.
Paimon's barely finished eating and...
Don't worry if you can't locate them. If you had, say, I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where you were looking just now.
So, guess we'd better take a look. Oh, yeah! The extract of an animo crystal fly can only be animo elemental energy, right? This must be electro-hypostasis powder.
Goodness. I'm wondering, this elemental sight...
Yep, guess it does.
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, it is not unheard of in Teyvat. Only a never-before-seen otherworldly power...
You mean, we failed?
Don't be disheartened. This falls entirely within my I have to commend your deduction that the items... Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your otherworldly identity. Our research on your identity as one of us is just beginning. In essence, the differences between humans are looking out from where we're standing. Can you see what Sucrose is doing? And if you jump from here and landed on that cliff, the one over... So what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here? Then I shouldn't get too I know of a location that will be...
You want us to...
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method. Whichever method you choose, the experiment... I will factor the time expended...
The opposite side of the lake.
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively. Some of us, no matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. Then if you would, please.
Wait a minute! While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing, emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything.
Great work. Your reputation precedes you, traveler. The data
But you followed us the whole way without breaking a sweat!
Me? Actually, I used alchemy to cheat a little. If it turns out that the natural laws of Tavad do not affect you, I should be able to make various... If the natural laws of Tavad do affect you, the innumerable possibilities that
But how does this help your
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I may be about to make some analogies. Gold, petrified. The essence of the investigative process is enthralling, but such feelings are inevitably fleeting. I'm willing to pour all my energy into research, and yet specimens are finite. All these things that start out as objects of fascination end up possessing the...
Oh, so that's why you wanted to paint those hilly trees?
Precisely. To quote my exact words from earlier, these creatures are, for the most part...
So after all these experiments, are we gonna be...
Of course not. You have been of great assistance to me. Now, before we head back to the campsite, follow me. There are some other ruins nearby.
Let's get it on!
Useless.
I imagine you must have encountered... I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test. I'd like you to... There are As with the physical test, there are no restrictions. Everything a tried and tested... So, let's see you in action. Start... Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places is up to you. It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Useless.
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm looking forward to finding out.
Hey! Explaining things is Paimon's job!
Let's light it up!
Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. What's this? To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. They can be found all... There's still a lot to learn about them. And as for why they should ever have come to rest here, a true mystery. Let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater detail after our research.
Another thing for the don't under... Seems like if you want the reward, you gotta pay the price.
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Comparatively, the little reward I can't... Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Paimon's kinda looking forward to seeing the unless you can think of anything better to do, let's head back.
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
You didn't leave the mountain?
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have been up to. I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor. Taking orders from a complete stranger, drinking anonymous potions, participating in all kinds of strange experiments? I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive.
Sister Rosaria's guard's so high, she can't even see over the top of it.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But I understand him a little better than you, Outlander. I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy has transformed you into something more sinister.
No way! Paimon would have sensed it. And anyway, he didn't even use any alchemy.
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into Mondstadt.
So, what are you gonna do?
I've got to hand it to you. You have your moments. If I can be sure that I've investigated everything else. The only items left...
But we don't need...
That much, but for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. Now then, all things considered, which is what I was hoping. I would have been one very unhappy sister if you...
Overtime?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone! So, Mondstadt doesn't have many people like that. Huh.
We should be able...
Useless!
You're back. Good timing. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the time for the results? But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is...
You couldn't tell that just by looking? We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you. Have you ever considered that the world of Tevat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders? I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing seems... The only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar. But after I observed you, I had another idea. Imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
The transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, and now to fruition. Is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself?
Aww.
It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of incomparable beauty.
Paimon thought, with all our efforts...
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. Its value shouldn't derive from how long it stays with. A short life can be well lived. A life lived efficiently. So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here, arguably?
Things feel... Don't be sad. You've got Paimon to look after you. Albedo, Paimon really wants to be...
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is not essential, your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom. I mean that the time I've spent traveling with you in the mountain in the future, if the need arises, well, glad I can count on. I made a point throughout of telling her how ordinary the results were. But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. What could it mean? Those born of Earth are bound by its imperfections. But those, if, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, can I rely on you to stop me?